What is good, my subscribers? It's Anchorman28 here, and it has been such a long time since I've had a Wi-Fi battle, and I'm really sorry about that. But with that, let's get underway with this Wi-Fi battle. So, as you can see, he has a couple of threatening Pokemon, especially that Medicham and that Kingdra. So we're gonna have to find a way to get past that. So, let's get into the battle. So he's gonna lead off with his Kingdra, and I'm gonna lead off with my Roserade. And right now, all I can think about is actually setting up my entry hazards. And this is the wrong Roserade. It's supposed to have Leech Seed, Spikes, Sludge Bomb, and I believe Giga Drain. But this one has, it was a different set, and I was really bummed out when I went into this battle. I had a lot of wrong Pokemon, but regardless, um, he's gonna hit me. He's gonna set up his rain. I'm gonna set up my spikes, and he's gonna go for the Dragon Gem boosted uh, Dragon Pulse, I believe, which really doesn't do much. And then he goes for Dragon Draco Meteor. Oh my gosh, it's been such a long time since I've done this, but I know I can live that. So I go for Giga Drain. Just trying to get some HP back. As of this point, I don't think Roserade would be any use to me besides for that Poliwrath we saw in the battle preview. But I don't think I was really thinking at the time. And yeah, I predicted his switch because the switch was obvious. So I didn't go for Giga Drain. I went for Sludge Bomb, took out a good chunk of that Honchkrow, and then I tried to preserve my Roserade, but he goes for Pursuit, which totally knocks out my Roserade. I had no chance of living that, and it was really a bummer that I couldn't keep my Roserade because that Poliwhirl would have been really aggravating. So I go into my so-called defensive Blastoise, and this Brave Bird totally wrecks it. I don't think this Blastoise was the right Blastoise because I think a physically defensive Blastoise with max HP would have easily taken that. I have no idea what Blastoise I brung, but it was definitely not defensive. Or at least I don't think it was. So he kills himself, switches into Meganium. And I go for Roar because I really don't want to deal with that. He goes in and switches it into his Medicham. I'm like, at this point, Blastoise is death fodder. And wow, sorry about that. My mic is pretty ridiculous. But he gets Leech Seed recovery, and then he decides to trick me the Choice Scarf. Yeah, I didn't understand his motive of that, but hey, whatever. So I just wanted to like kill anything, like honestly right now. At this point, Blastoise is death fodder, and I don't feel like switching out to take like a high jump kick to the face. Nothing wants to take that, so I just stay in with Blastoise, and he tricks me a Choice Scarf, which is pretty unusual. So I hit him with the Scald, does a pretty hefty amount of damage, and he switches on to his Kingdra, hoping to get the burn, but it really wouldn't matter because I learned later on that this Kingdra is actually specially offensive instead of physically offensive or mixed sets as usual. And so yeah, going to my Heracross, looking for a revenge kill, switches into his Poliwrath. I hit it with that close combat, and it doesn't do a lot. Uh, they really bummed me out because this Poliwrath was really a pain in like the butt. I'm honestly telling you right now. So I go for a close combat, hoping it would kill. He lives with Focus Sash health, which really pisses me off. And yeah, he circle throws me. Does a lot actually, right? Because of the two defense drops and a critical hit. Wow. And Heracross is a straight up monster. But anyway, he circle throws me onto my Slowbro, which can easily wall this Poliwrath like to death. And he rests up, which absolutely broke my heart because I thought I was gonna revenge kill with a Psyshock, but as you can see, Psyshock does a pretty good amount of damage, but he has leftovers, so it looks like a solid 4-hit KO. And I know he's not going to stay in and waste turn. So he goes into the Meganium. I go for Psyshock just to get damage or whatever, switches in because I don't think anything's immune on his team. And he switches into his Meganium and it takes that like a boss. He goes for Toxic, which I predicted actually, but nothing on my team can actually afford a Toxic besides Slowbro and whatchamacallit, I forgot the other Pokemon's name. Oh my gosh, you'll see it. Snorlax, that's what I mean. So the best one to take it was obviously Slowbro. Well, it could have been Snorlax since, as you can see later in the match, I have rest on my Snorlax. So yeah, I switched into my Zoroark because I thought I'm really not sure on how illusion really works, but I thought I'd be disguised as I don't know what I was disguised as. I don't know. I don't know what the hell I was thinking, but I go for Nasty Plot, thinking that he'd switch out, fearing the flamethrower. But I think at this point he really doesn't care about this Meganium. I should just straight up killed it with the flamethrower, but I decided to predict the switch, go for Nasty Plot, and that turns out to bite me in the ass because this Meganium, instead of having Giga Drain, has Leaf Storm. I've never seen a Meganium that had Leaf Storm ever. I don't know what he was doing with that, but it got me there, so here you go. So I switched into my Heracross, and again, thinking that he'd switch out, fearing the Mega Horn, I go for Pursuit, but he just decides to stay in. And like, at this point, I'm like, I'm done predicting right now. This is absolutely ridiculous. Like, seriously. I think he just left his Meganium into for Death Fodder, and I obviously didn't notice that. So I switch out, and I go into my Snorlax because I know he's gonna go for Toxic, and I have Rest on it. So any Toxic damage really doesn't matter on Snorlax, and I know Meganium can't really touch Snorlax. So I just switch in. Why not? And yeah, his Meganium faints, and I'm like, pretty much against the wall. I'm really thinking I'm gonna lose at this point because I'm like I only have like 3 or 4 Pokemon left, and he has like 5 or 6. I'm not sure, but at this point I switch out to Slowbro and I predict a high jump kick because the obvious fighting move was obvious, and I don't think Snorlax would be able to take a high jump kick to the face from a Medicham, which is stabbing also. Hell no. So I switch out to my Slowbro, the obvious choice, my physically defensive Slowbro. Eats high jump kicks all day, and I was actually hoping he'd miss just for the lulls, but guess not. Go for Toxic, wear down this Medicham even more, and that's pretty much it's a dead Medicham. It's pretty much useless. So I believe after this he's gonna switch out to what should I call it? I keep forgetting Kingdra, predicting the Scald, but yeah, I think I go for Scald. I go for Slack Off actually, because I know Slowbro is gonna. I'm gonna need Slowbro to handle the Medicham later. I'm also need to handle the Poliwhirl later. So I go for Slack Off, and I think this turn I switch out knowing that I can't really do anything to Kingdra, and I finally switch out to the MVP of the match, Snorlax, and he goes for Dragon Pulse. Snorlax takes those all day. Snorlax does not play any games, man. I should really start nicknaming this one Big Boss. Anyway, goes for Hydro Pump. Really doesn't do anything to me either. And I take this opportunity to rest. And yeah, as of this moment, I'm just like, I was wishing this was the curse set, because if it was, I would just mop the floor with this team. But it wasn't. It was the Rest Sleep Talk set with Rest Sleep Talk, obviously. Body Slam and Whirlwind. And I'm not a fan of Sleep Talk, but my luck with Sleep Talk is absolutely terrible. So I try not to use it as often, but I guess this time I just picked it out of my box, and it is what it is. So he goes for the Mega Horn. It does a hefty amount of damage, and I'm hoping to get the Whirlwind because I really don't want to deal with this. And I want to burn off sleep turns, but I get the Body Slam. I got the crit, but not the Parahax, and I was really hoping to get the Parahax because I don't know, anything helps. And he goes for Earthquake. It almost kills me. I predict the Wake Up, if that sounds right. Like I counted the turns and use Rest again. So like I know at this point he's mad because this Snorlax was a huge pain to him, and his Rhyperior really he could touch this, but if I played my cards right, I could wall him to oblivion. So I go for Rest. I pull Rest from Sleep Talk, which sucks because as you can see, the next turn I pull Rest again, which it's oh man, Snorlax, what are you doing, man? At that point, I was like, oh my gosh, Snorlax, you're like dead now, unless he goes for like I don't know, ridiculous move or something. Really not sure, but hey, whatever. So wake up, go for rest. Um, 'Cause I live with like not focus sash health, but wow, look at that animation. I don't know why that happened, but whatever. So fast asleep now, and I go for sleep talk, hoping I can pull a whirlwind, and I actually do, which is fantastic. And I whirlwind him out into my Poliwrath, which is not really what I want to whirlwind him into, but it is what it is. I don't want to deal with that right now. So I believe, yeah, we're both asleep this time, and he also reveals that he's a rest sleep talking Poliwrath too with Circle Throw, but it misses, which is actually pretty funny because how does a sleeping Snorlax avoid a Circle Throw? How does it evade anything? And these people are calling me. Sorry about that. Yeah, I get leftovers. He gets leftovers, and he's gonna use Sleep Talk once more, and he's gonna pull the rest, which I kind of laughed too. But then I believe I pulled it. No, actually I mispredict. I forgot to count the turns, and I go for Sleep Talk again. Now it's actually a misclick, and yeah, I could have done some damage to it, at least a body slam or something, make this go by quicker. But now I decide to go for the body slam. He wakes up this turn, goes for Circle Throw, doesn't miss this time, which sucks, but hey, it's a game. And he gets a crit again, which really sucks. So he whirlwinds me onto my Slowbro, which walls this Poliwrath to oblivion once again. And I believe now he's going to switch, because why would you stay in on a Slowbro or Poliwrath? You really can't do anything, especially if I have your weakness. I have a Side Shock. But no, he actually takes the opportunity to rest up, which I really didn't understand, but hey, whatever. So he rests up, go for Side Shock, and it does a pretty decent chunk, I believe, from the damage I did before. Or actually, I get a crit, which is absolutely fantastic. I mean, it did kind of matter, but it's the game. It happens, and like I get my fair share of crits on me, so it's the game. So yeah, he's gonna go for Sleep Talk, and I believe he pulls Rest. No, he pulls a Scald, which really doesn't affect me because I'm a slow bro. Take hits for days. So I go for a Side Shock to finally finish off this Poliwrath, which was absolutely annoying. I don't care what you guys say. Like, I hate dealing with these things because I'm never really prepared for them. But I guess in this battle I actually was, and now this battle should be a little bit easier to handle. So he goes into his Rhyperior, and fearing the Mega Horn, I'm getting out of there because I know I can't live one. So I go into my Snorlax's Death Fodder, and I believe he goes for a Mega Horn or whatever, but he misses. Which, no, he actually doesn't miss. I actually die, which sucks. But hey, he has to get a useless crit. So yeah, there's his crit. So I go into Heracross. It's for our revenge killing, and I believe at this point he only has two Pokemon, which is Medicham and his Rhyperior, obviously. And I kill that off. And this Heracross is actually a Choice Scarf Moxie set. So after this kill, I'm gonna get my Moxie, and I'm gonna get +1 attack. And he's going to switch into his Medicham, and at this point it's pretty much good game because Medicham is pretty much dead. Actually, it's poisoned, has less than 1/3 health, and I have a Slowbro to take wherever he wants. So yeah, good game. I believe his name is Seaton. Yeah, I don't believe he has I don't think he has a whatchamacallit YouTube channel, but it is what it is, you know what I mean? So make sure to rate, comment, subscribe. I promise I'll upload more Wi-Fi battles, but it's just really hard to find some because honestly, I don't think the Wi-Fi battle finder for Smogon is working because every time I try to find a Wi-Fi battle, it's like no one's there. It's either no one's there or it's just not working for me. So anyways, I've rambled on a lot. So rate, comment, subscribe. And I will be uploading more frequently. I'm sorry about that. It's just life. It's really hard. having classes and stuff, but that's really no excuse. So thank you for watching, loyal subscribers, and see you guys later. Peace.